Reason why this war with Iran feels so confusing. So let me cut right through it. My name's Adam. I used to be in the CIA, and we've been doing daily updates on the war. Today, I'll give you the facts from the last 24 hours, but then I'm going to give you the tools to understand strategically why this war is spinning out of control. So here's what you need to know. Last night, the Iranians hit Azerbaijan's international airport. More explosions reported in Abu Dhabi. The UAE continues to be the hardest hit in the region. There's footage claiming to show Iranian ballistic missiles over Jordan. Iran hit the primary oil refinery in Bahrain, which is still on fire, and a missile struck near a U.S. naval installation. A U.S. Navy sub sank an Iranian warship off the coast of Sri Lanka. And finally, U.S. CENTCOM is requesting support for another 100 days of Iran operations. So that's what happened. Now here's why it matters. This is no longer a contained operation between Israel, the U.S., and Iran. This is now a regional conflict involving 17 countries, and those in charge of American strategic policy are fundamentally unequipped to handle it. They've also spent the last 15 months undermining our diplomatic readiness and our relationships with global allies, both of which are necessary to prosecute this kind of war. Consider, Trump fired dozens of senior career diplomats. Several strategic posts in the Middle East have been vacant for over a year. He fired more than 1,300 State Department employees, many of whom were Middle East and counterterrorism experts. They dismantled USAID, an agency that should be playing a critical role in navigating the conflict and post-conflict environments. Kash Patel also fired a dozen agents and staff from the FBI's counterintelligence unit specifically tasked with monitoring threats from Iran. I know firsthand that Iran has a very capable intel service that has networks and cells all over the world. We haven't even seen those networks activated yet, but terrorism, sabotage, assassination, it's all on the table. When we stack all of this together, a bigger picture emerges, a picture of incompetence, lack of planning, and an inability to understand, even intellectually, the scale of the crisis they've created. That's why this conflict is spinning out of control, and this is where our alliances will be critical. Right now, the European allies are hesitantly supporting us. The French sent fighter jets, the Dutch sent warships, even the Ukrainians, they're sending drone teams. All of this despite repeated disrespect from the Trump administration over the last year. Because even if our leaders don't understand it, our allies do. They recognize this moment is critical, and they are attempting to protect, stabilize, and de-escalate. On the other hand, Trump, Hegseth, Rubio, Noam, Patel, all of them, they failed in their duty to act in the best interest of the American people. In only 5 short days, they unilaterally committed us to a massive regional war. This dwarfs Iraq or Afghanistan in complexity and in scale. And when we look at who's in command, who's making decisions, and who's working with our allies, we see a team of Fox News hosts, podcasters, Nepo babies, billionaires, and Mar-a-Lago influencers. And in charge of all of them, at the head of the table, is a calloused and diminished president who spent more time with Jeffrey Epstein than he did planning for war with Iran.
America just put out a statement that if you're an American in the Middle East, you need to leave now, ASAP. I'm in the Middle East right now. Tell me, please, how am I supposed to leave? Huh? You want me to hop on a magic carpet and get back home? You think this is Aladdin? The airports are closed. The airspace is closed. You couldn't tell me this last week? You wait until 3 days after all this goes down? Look how much of age. I'm an ammo now. There's gray hairs in my beard. I'm watching the TV like this to see what is going on. You're joking with me. You're messing with me. Leave now. When? Where? What? Who? Wow. No, honestly, if I could do a magic carpet, I'd leave. If you have information, which you might, tell me how to turn this carpet and I'll whole new world back to California. Today, the U.S. government said to all Americans in the Middle East, get out. Today, they gave us a number to call, right, for assistance. They said, here's a number to figure it out. I called the number. Do you know what happened when I called the number?
If you are calling about the crisis in the Middle East, please press 1. If not, press 2. Please do not rely on the U.S. government for assisted departure or evacuation at this time. There are currently no United States evacuation points. Please continue to check the embassy's website for updated information.
What does that mean? Am I in a Hunger Games movie now and I didn't choose to be in it? Huh? What do you mean I have to figure it out? You put me in this situation. Your actions put me in this situation. And now you're telling, hey, buddy, figure it out, man. Rely on God. Allah is your last reliant. And guess why I am going to rely on God? Because I can't rely on you. Left me a voice recorded message? Astaghfirullah.
As a military combat veteran who has spent a few tours in Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom and personally folded 36 flags with these hands, I have got to tell you, barring politics and everything, we're talking about cold, hard facts here. Our young men and women are about to die for an old man's fight. and none of the old men are going to take part in it. So they're not going to die. The retaliation for what Iran did to one of our bases, where we came back at Iran, what they just did was they started going after one of our naval facilities, and they attacked Saudi Arabia, where the fossil fuels reside, the commerce, the business behind all of it. And you know who does business with Saudi Arabia with fossil fuels? We do. It's the same exact thing with a different face on it. Hear me. This is not about proving who's the bigger bully on the playground anymore. These hands folded 36 flags in 4 months. More flags will be folded, and they will be draped over the caskets of our children. Do y'all understand the gravity of this situation? I'm at a loss for words. I wish that I could fill these gaps in this video with something other than flashbacks that you can't see that are behind my eyes. Flashbacks that my buddies saw. I had 5 buddies that took their own lives because they lost to the war on the home front. Because once they got back, because they had survivor's guilt and all kinds of other things, because their lives weren't taken during these wars, they took their own. And this needs to be said by somebody who knows what all this turns into from the level of the middle class. God, I never thought I'd see this twice in my lifetime. We're in trouble.
19 years. 19 years I've spent in the Army, and I have made the decision to get out. And I hear a lot of, well, it's just one more year. Oh, you're crazy to be missing out on all that money. But people don't know what I've been through. I deployed to Afghanistan about 8 years ago. And coming home since then, I've stuck it out. And finally, the trauma from that has caught up with me. And I have stayed so long in a system that literally broke me. Yes, I've had really good times, but the one bad time holds so much weight that I can't do it anymore. I don't have any more left in me. And today I just learned that the reason I'm getting out is the same reason so many other people have voluntarily separated from the military. So being a part of something that has caused me so much trauma, it's been really difficult. But I'm done. I can finally take this off. I'm free. I'm gonna go get my septum pierced now.
And somebody in the White House needs to take Trump and sit his ass the fuck down. Life already hard, now we gotta worry about this bullshit. Ever since you stepped foot in the motherfucking White House, you ain't did nothing but cause motherfucking chaos. I'm not getting out there fighting no motherfucking body. I'm on Iran's side. I'm on their motherfucking side. Fuck the U.S. I don't give a damn.
Had we just elected the black lady with the silk press, had we just elected Big Sister General, had we just elected the black lady with the weird laugh, had we just elected Madam the wheels on the bus go round and round, we would not be at war with Iran right now. And I know what some of y'all are thinking. Joshua, why are you screaming? Joshua, how many times you gonna say this? I'm gonna keep saying it until it finally clicks. Because folks, this was an open book test. Not only was this an open book test, the professor was at the board giving the answers and we failed. And now we have 4 dead Americans as a result. We have F-15 fighter jets being shot out of the sky by friendly fire. Had we just elected the black lady with the weird laugh, folks would have money to purchase their first home. The American people would have quality health care. We would not be at war with Iran, spending billions of dollars of taxpayer money that has not been approved by Congress to fund this war. So I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep screaming it until the American people finally understand if you could have just set your racism and your sexism aside and voted for Kamala Harris, we would be in a better position today.
This is self-explanatory. I'm not going to preach. Tell me what you think in the comments. Keep God first and the rest will follow.